So we're looking at a dashboard that we've built. This is based on sales order processing data, and what we're showing you is a total of cost trending. This is a 12-month trend, and we've started the date a little bit before where there was actual data there. So we see a 12-month moving average of cost information actually, and then this is the actual cost of goods sold for this particular set of data that we're looking at. Of course, we've added some options here that you can do the same trending for sales profits, and so that's a pretty interesting model. We have trending for 6-month trends, 3-month trends, and we can even break it down further from there. So we have another tab that we've set up with another 4 web parts or dashboards built into one screen or one window, and here we can see the top performing states based on margin. We can see the top performing salespeople based on number of sales and margin. And we also have a low performing states web part here, which we're going to go ahead and drill down into. And we're actually going to see the total sales for the lowest performing states, but we're seeing margin information and sales information, and it looks like Idaho is our lowest margin state. So this one we sorted in an ascending manner based on margin. Interesting. These. We've kind of came up with some very high targets on the margin, so these are all in red, but I think our target we set as something really high, like 85%. And then, of course, down here, we put the top producing customers just based on a graphical bar chart. So, quickly you can get information about what's going on within your sales, within both good things, maybe not so great things, your salespeople, and your top customers, from a sales perspective, sales order perspective. So now I'm going to go ahead and switch gears a little bit, and we're going to go into a project accounting type set of dashboards. And here what we're showing you is, again, kind of a dummy data for based on billing amount and profit. And you can see over a period of time what this information kind of looks like. And you can see the dips and the highs based on not only revenue. And it's interesting, we had increasing revenue here for these 3 months, but we had a dipping profitability and gross profit down here. And if we take a look at down here, we added a couple other things. We have teams profitability that we also measure in this instance of project accounting, and what we call work order or contract profitability in terms of measurements. So again, we just kind of came up with some data that we put together, but we saw some interesting trends that we wanted to show you in our in these KPIs and in these dashboards. So then we have another dashboard that we've set up here. It's called, I like to call it a breadcrumb trail dashboard, but it's actually called a decomposition tree, a decomp tree. And what this allows us to do is to kind of get a trail of what's going on starting from one point or one measurement or whatever that may be. So here we're looking at time, actual time, timesheet quantities that have been entered. So we take a look at the total, let's say for a specific period of time, it might be a year, quarter, month, specific day for that matter. And we can start drilling down and saying, well, let me look at where is the majority of that time going to, it's for this particular customer number and this particular contact number, and then you can see a drill down of all the breakdown from here. So you can kind of quickly look and drill down from a point to any information that would be meaningful to your business. And of course, if I look here, you can see all the different various information that we have available, be it timesheet billings, timesheet quantities, in what has been increased in values with regard to markups at the billing level. We have cost budgets, forecast budgets. So there's a wealth of pieces of information here available that you can drill down and analyze against. So having said that, I'm going to jump back into show you a little bit more drill down capability for the emPower and ProClarity combined solution. Of course, all this resides on a SQL Server analysis services data in structure. So for those of you who may have been wondering, that's kind of the technical term. But what we've done here is we've actually said here is let's look at our quantity of approved billing time versus an average billing rate. And if you look, we're trying to reach an average billing rate of 135, and you can see in 2001 through 2008 is what we're reporting, and 2008 thus far is really not looking good. But these other years were good. Of course, 2005 is probably where we hit our goal here. So one of the things we can do now is we can say, well, let's drill down at this point, and what we'll do is let's go ahead and expand, or let's go ahead and drill down. I'm going to go ahead and double click on 2001, and as you can see, whoops, it drilled down twice, and I drilled down into 2001 in the second quarter. So I'll hit the back button because I want to see it quarter by quarter. But what I may do at this point, I know I'm in 2001, I'm going to go ahead and expand quarter two, and what you can see is you can expand instead of drilling down and look at your information quarter by quarter. I can take this one step further, and I can even drill down into this on a day-by-day basis based on our billing and what we've built thus far. So you can see quickly how you can drill down and find information. If we go ahead and go back to the original view, what we may want to do is we may want to go ahead and drill down into 2001. Whoops, I did it again. But what we may want to do is we now may want to actually, let me go ahead and go back to the whole entire report, and I'm going to go ahead and at this point show only 2001 is what I want to really do, and I can drill down and look at the list of projects that we've decided to use. Perhaps we don't want to look at the projects. Perhaps you want to look at it on a customer by customer level. So we can go into here, go to customers, bring up the customer ID. Whoops. Move over, and now we're seeing it on a customer by customer basis rather than on a project by project basis. So if a customer has 10 projects, they kind of all roll up into these totals for the customer by customer. If you decided to add projects back into the picture, what we would do is we would go back in here and bring over the project. And now we can see by project what the average billing rate would look like. So again, we show you some drill down capabilities, we show you some roll up capabilities here, we showed you the dashboarding, quick way to find out the exceptions of your business and being able to manage the business by exception rather than by trying to filter through a bunch of data information that may not be pertinent. Hopefully this was informative and helpful to you. We encourage you to visit us at www.ertgroup.com.